Hey guys, my name is Kooldrink. I make pop piano. Every genre has little intricacies and certain things you should do in certain ways. I'm gonna show you all those little things. You know, like people always ask me, how do you get the log drum to hit the right way? I'll show you all of that stuff as we go along. So first things first, we're gonna load up the Splice bridge. Also, guys, the Splice bridge is the coolest thing you've done. Like having the samples like linked to like FL Studio and Ableton, like, I love that. So Amapiano, tempo-wise, 110 to 115. Never above 115, please. But for today's purposes, let's do something in the middle. Let's do 114. I like 114. 114 is where I like to play. So right now we're looking for inspiration, right? 114 is our tempo. Let's open up Splice. Let's just get straight into it. So I like to start with the vocal, right? So let's look up vocal sample. What type of vibe? So I just type in vocal background. Let's see what Splice gives us. I just want a vocal for the back. All right, let's put that in the bag. Let's put that in the bag. I like that one, but I'm not sold on it just yet. I like this one. Yeah, that one we're keeping. So this is where it gets exciting. Let's go to the sample pack. So this is Kooldrink Splice pack. Obviously, I have the entire thing downloaded because I made it, but you guys can go through and find the stuff you like. But how I would like to start this is maybe by going to the ambience, right? So in the ambience folder, I've got a bunch of things, right? So I like to make songs, I think of them in different quadrants. There's the drums, there's the vocals, there's the bass, and then there's the ambience, right? The ambience is everything that the song sits on. So you've got your bass line here, your drums, your vocal, everything else. The ambience is back here. So I'm gonna go through a few of these loops, I'll put some down, and then we'll bring that vocal in. This one's my favorite, so I'll show you why. So you'll put this down. Remember, you want ambience to be felt, not heard. So let's bring that down. So that's F minor, that's the key we're in. Let's look at this vocal. So let's just do F minor. We're in F minor with that one sample from the Splice pack. So remember, the Splice bridge remembers what tempo you're in because it's linked to your project. So it knows it's 114. I've just told it that the key is F minor. Let's see how this works. All right, I'm gonna press play in the bridge. Not a life I can waste. Can you give me what I need? I'm looking for atonement. Oh, hold on. Let's try this vocal. It sounds nice. Roseman, can you give me what I need? I'm looking for atonement. Who can let me on my feet? Who can take me higher? This is cool. Sorry, we're changing course, guys. This is how it works. Hey, Mr. Postman, can you give me what I need? I'm looking for atonement. Who can let me on my feet? Who can take me higher? That sample with the ambience works. So let's double down. Let's commit to this, right? Otherwise, you spend hours on Splice. There's too much going on. There's too much cool shit. So we're gonna spend hours here. So let's just grab what's working right now. How do you know you've got a sample that makes sense? You know that because you can hear what's gonna happen for it. Like with this sample, I can hear the drums already. I can hear the bass line. So whenever you get that feeling, you can hear what's gonna happen later in the session. Commit to that sample. All right, we're good now. So that sample is at 85. Well, 80, so it's gonna off time it. Can you give me what I need? I'm looking for atonement. Let's put a delay on that little sample. Who can let me on my feet? So I'm gonna put a dub delay on that. I think that'll sound cool, because the sample's old, so let's lean into that. And then, when in doubt, reverb. Can you give me what I need? I'm looking for atonement. See, now I've got a little vibe going. No drums, no nothing just yet. But these two samples work together, right? Now let's write a bass line. Can you give me what I need? Now for the bass, you can use any bass you want. In fact, I'll just use Flex. This comes with FL Studio. Right, so when you're approaching Amapiano and you want to write a bass line, do not think of your bass line as, you know, a tonal element. Think of it as a part of your percussion. So the rhythm of your bass line needs to move like the drums. It needs to have that rhythm. So I like to write the bass line's rhythm before I even write what notes it's gonna play. So right now, as I'm writing this, there will be stuff that's out of key that won't sound good, but I'm trying to get that rhythm. Once I have that rhythm locked in, then I can go and be tonal about the bass. So watch this. Right. Now let's go through the Splice back. There's some stuff in here that could be cool. Let's think about drum movement right now. Because I've got the vibe of the bass line. I know what I'm doing there. So in this pack, there's a bunch of things in there. So right now, I'm gonna look for a percussion loop. Okay. Let's grab this one. This one's called PSP. It's in the pack. Immediately, dragged in that one drum sample, the heads are moving. The heads are moving. So I'm even gonna go back on that bass line. That bass line doesn't seem to make sense with this drum sample, but this drum sample brings more rhythm. So let's commit to that. All right, cool. So let's throw the idea at the wall. Let's replace this with a log drum just to figure out what that'll feel like. But before that, let's create the vibe. Let's bring some effects in. So if you go to the one-shots folder, or if you look up the one-shots in the pack, there are one or two that an Amapiano song is not an Amapiano song unless you have these three effects, right? So there's one called Ice Crash. So when you look up the sample pack, you look up Ice Crash. That's the main one. You'll know it, right? So I'm gonna put the Ice Crash right here, and you always line up the transient of the Ice Crash with where your beat lands. So what that sounds like together is... You guys know the sample. If you make any Amapiano, this is the sample. I gave it to you. It's here. Use it. Right, so let's put those down. All right, now let's get the vibe moving. Now we need an open hi-hat. So let's just pretend this is our chorus. We haven't structured out this beat, but let's mark it here. Chorus. As you can tell, I don't really have a set way of working. I just, as the ideas come, I put them down. And then later on, we'll sit there and sift them around and make it make sense of the song. But right now, we're just throwing ideas at the table. So this is our chorus. Okay, my brain is telling me that this is our vocal loop. So we're not gonna use the entire vocal loop. We're just gonna take that one part. So that's the part people are gonna remember. All right, cool, so we need a delay. That's what my brain's telling me. So we're putting this all down. All right, cool, so we're gonna make an automation clip where it says need. See, the vocal goes need. And let's make an automation clip. Right there. And guys, make your lives easier. After you make an automation clip for an audio clip, just keep the automation in the same channel as the thing. It'll make sense later, I promise you. Now I need an open hat. This is the one. Amazing. Open hats mean movement. Open hats help people count. So if you put an open hat, you're telling people, all right, we're moving the tempo up. And if you really, really, really want to get a little bit spicy, you can nudge the hat a little bit. Now, if you've realized I haven't put a kick down, this is something I need to remind you guys. In Amapiano, the kick needn't be loud. The first mistake people make is that they put the kick in and they want the kick to smack like an EDM track. We don't do that. The log drum leads always. I'll show you what I mean. Follow. Right, so let's take this Splice drum loop from the pack. This one's called PSP, I told you guys earlier. So you've got that on there. Let's grab a parametric EQ. Let's just remove the absolute low end from here. And let's go into the kicks here. Ooh. I'm gonna pick this one. This one's called Punchy Boy. So you take this guy and you put him here. You hear that? kick's doing too much. No space for the log drum. I have to bring him down. That's feeling good. We've got a vibe going. Now, let's grab some more things. We're still creating the vibe. We haven't done the log drum yet. Log drum last, always. Let's put out my favorite synth, Serum. So I have this preset, and let's just create a new pattern over here. We want what I call a timekeeper. Now, a timekeeper is like that open hi-hat. It keeps you counting. Now, Amapiano loves that because rhythm is implied. All right, so... Right, so this guy will come here. I call this guy a timekeeper. He tells you when to move your head and when not to. All right, let's just spruce this up a little bit more. Amazing. Amazing. I'm gonna lay that with another one that I usually use. Again, these sounds are not hard to remake. For all of you that are good with it, screenshot here, 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 and here. Pause the video. There it is. There you go. And then as the log drum hits, we have this drum fill. Now, drum fills are important too. What do I feel like today? Oof. That could be cool. Ah! That's my favorite one. So I made these easy to use. I know the timing of these won't make sense if you haven't made Amapiano before. So all I need you to do with these drum fills, you put them on the beginning of the bar. This is bar 32, you put on the beginning of bar 32. If you wanted to help you with the transition for bar 33, you put it a bar before. Just line it up, it makes sense. That's the timing always. With all the drum fills, just line them up a bar before. It'll make sense. All right, cool. Let's get a log drum. This is my favorite part of the video. Log drum, FL Studio. For those of you that don't know, free DX10, go to the presets folder. It's a default preset. I'm gonna show you how to spruce it up though. First things first, increase the decay just a little bit. Assign it to a mixer track. First thing we want, distortion. 3D Wave Shaper works, any clip of your choice. Just send it. Send it, like send it. Seriously, send it. Right, when it sounds like it's doing too much, it's perfect. So I like to write my melodies an octave up because I get to hear what it sounds like tonally. And then once you bring them down like an octave down later on, it hits you. So let's just hear it. I'm not buying that one. Let's do more. When in doubt, go crazy. Now the cool thing is, if you have them moving fast, select the ones that are just offbeat and nudge, 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 nudge. Right, so that's the log drum. I'm gonna commit to that pattern. Now, the cool thing about the log drum is you can layer it with a sub bass. Which one? I'll show you. Just clone that DX10 or take any sub that you like. Just match the ASDR to your log drum. So just make sure your sub bass is lasting as long as the log drum. You can't have the sub bass spilling over after the log drum. They need to both move as a cohesive unit. I'll show you how. So here we are, just copy the log drum pattern underneath it, right? In FL Studio presets, literally for the people not using FL, it's just a sub. That's all it is. Now, the only thing I'm gonna do is match the ASDR envelope. So here's the ASDR envelope for the log drum. See that? that. It's like a little triangle with a little dip in it. Cool. Let's go replicate that because that's important. There's my little triangle with the dip. Now without the sub bass, that's cool. With the sub, now we're moving. So I think we've communicated a lot with this song. I think we've got the parts we need. We've got a little chorus. We know that vocal is holding the song together. Now this is where it gets fun for me because now I've got the main theme of the song done. This is where I get to go onto Splice and just click through and figure something out. So remember the Splice bridge? This is where it comes in handy. So let's figure out what key we are in the song, right? So B or G? I don't know any music theory, man. This is all just vibes. I play the mouse. Between B and G, we'll figure out what key we're in and find new samples. I feel like some saxophone could be cool. Let's see where that goes. I've never used sax before, but let's try that today. So we might be in the key of G. Let's see. Let's give the Splice bridge its own channel. That's really helpful because you can apply effects on the Splice bridge. So let's just grab a part. We can apply effects on the Splice bridge, which is pretty cool. So let's do this. Next sample. The Splice bridge is once I click that little plus down here, so obviously it's matched the sample to tempo and to key. And if I drag it from here, from that little, that was a plus button. If I drag it from there, it'll give me the tempo and key match sample. So you're no longer like dragging it in and fumbling around to get it right. It's done for you. By the time it hits your DAW, it's in key, it's in tempo, which is a big time saver for me. And I think it'll save a lot of time for you. Why I love FL Studio so much is, for me personally, FL Studio has just been the place I can express myself. I know how to use all these doors, but I love FL Studio. For the genre of music I make, the genre was born in FL Studio. You know, Amapiano was born by kids who grew up in the township, so, you know, there wasn't access to, you know, really good computers. So it was you and your buddy with a copy of FL Studio and the sounds of it on. You didn't have internet. We didn't have YouTube to learn all the stuff. So you had to use the sounds that came with it. So the entire genre is based on everything in FL, like the log drums in FL, all the sounds we use are in FL. But don't worry, I've put those in the back. But that's why I love FL Studio. The genre that I make continues to use it, is based around it. I'm looking for a tall man. I think that's about it when it comes to showing you guys Amapiano. Yeah, use the pack.